There is nothing like the feel of a championship. The packed gym, all eyes on center court. Knowing everything you worked for all season long has come down to one game. 5 years ago, Arthur Hill lost every single game they played. But today, they are knocking on the title door. However, before they can celebrate, they must get past a Marian squad that's been there, done that. The Class A championship is next. Welcome live. It's a dreary day outside Rose Arena on the campus of CMU, but who cares, because inside we're having nothing but fun. The grade 8, if you will, 8 teams here all vying for state championships right now. It's Class A time. From Birmingham, the Mustangs of Marian battling the Lumberjacks of Arthur Hill from good old Saginaw. I'm Fred McLeod. Welcome to Game 2 of our championship Saturday. If it's anything like the Class D finale, I don't know if we'll be able to handle it. But Birmingham Marian certainly has been able to handle these circumstances in the past. In fact, if you put this in a political vein, the Mustangs know what it's like to win in presidential years. In fact, you go back to the days of the George Bush election, 1988, again in 92, when Bill Clinton took over, and in 96. But they want to do it being politically incorrect and win in 1998 instead of waiting to the year 2000 as they seek their 4th state basketball championship. Fred McLeod along with Greg Kelser, and have you caught your breath, partner?
I think so. Ready to go.
All right, the Mustangs come into this ball game with a bona fide star, one of the best basketball players in the state of Michigan, Nicole Angelou, who's headed to Penn State. She is a terrific player.
You know, Fred, she really is superb. All season long, she's been the go-to person for Marian. And a highly developed post game she possesses. Here you see her with the drop step reverse pivot for a jumper. Here, making a sound pass when double teamed, good decision. And then on the defensive end, blocking a shot. So she really has the ability to do a lot of things. And when you look at her numbers on the season, 14 points, 10 rebounds, not really indicative of her ability. She's had to deal with some foul trouble, but yesterday with no foul trouble, 24 points and 11 rebounds.
All right, the Mustangs get here by virtue of a tough game in the semifinals against Okemos yesterday. They nearly let a double-digit lead get away. It went down to 5, but Marian hung on. This senior ball club did not wilt under pressure, and there's a reason why they kept their composure.
Leadership. We had a lot of good senior leadership in all those, in the 3 that we won and last year that we lost in the finals. You talked about composure. They just have it. You know, we get down, we don't get rattled. They make a run, they don't get rattled, and you can't get rattled in these games, and that's what hurts. You start forcing things, and we made a few mistakes where we started looking a little rattled. We calmed down, and we're right back into it.
But the Mustangs will face intense, with a capital I, pressure from the Lumberjacks of Saginaw Arthur Hill, a team that is not very deep, but they are so quick and such very good shooters.
You know, Fred, the thing that I really was impressed about them, watching them yesterday, is their quickness up and down the floor. Against Martin Luther King, that is a team that pressures all over the floor and has disrupted many opponents this season. However, I think Saginaw Arthur Hill did a wonderful job, especially with their ball handling ace, Nakia Woods. Now, not a deep team. As you can see, 6 players will garner most of the minutes, but this is a team well-conditioned, and they all handle the ball very well, and more importantly, they shoot it as well, too.
Not many blanks, believe it, come from these 6 shooters, led by Nakia Woods. You're going to enjoy watching her, a terrific point guard, undoubtedly the best quarterback in the state of Michigan. Vonnie Kilmer has done a tremendous job. The former U of M star in her 6th year, listen to this, took over a program that won 1 game in her first 2 years at the helm. But suddenly things have turned around, and she knows where the roots came from.
The kids I had early on got the ball rolling, worked hard, showed the other kids how to do, even though they necessarily couldn't get there. These kids knew they could do it. They had to work hard. They had to do the right things, you know. And they've done that, and they've gone from, they were 11-11 as freshmen to where they are now.
Well, Bonnie Kilmer was a point guard in Ann Arbor as a collegian, and in Nakia Woods, she has a player maybe cut out of the same mold because a terrific distributor of the basketball, as you'll see in the upcoming 4 quarters.
She doesn't get rattled, and she's going to face pressure. She knows it, but she handles that ball with aplomb.
All right, let's head over to Mickey York for more of the sideline duties. Mick?
Brad, thank you very much. Again, we're fortunate enough to be joined by Linda Harlan, the head coach of Flushing High School. And, Coach, we've heard a lot about Nakia Woods. And a Nakia Woods-Jasmine McAlpine matchup would be a lot of fun to watch, but we're not going to get that today.
No, she tore her ACL in the end of the season, and that has been a real strain on Marian's team. And the coach told us that she basically had to find some people that were going to take that place. A couple games later, she found Kelly Byers and Crystal Edwards have taken up that point guard spot and started to run the team.
As for Arthur Hill, you know a little bit about this team. You faced them during a summer league game. Your impressions of them then and now?
They're a fun team to play, but very difficult to play. They're very fast. They're very quick. They can shoot outside. They can shoot inside. They present a lot of problems as a coach when you're coaching against them. If you play zone, they shoot the outside shot. You play man, Nakia Woods goes right by you. So this is going to be a great matchup for these two. A lot of strategy for both coaches.
And I know you liked them to win the state championship when you saw them back in the summer.
I picked them in August to win the state championship, and they're here. So now they've got to win one more game.
All right, well, Fred, we'll see if Coach's prophecy can come true. Back to you.
All right, Mick, the soothsayer also predicted Marian to get to the final game. She's right on both counts. Let's see if she's a prognosticator extraordinaire. Marian against Arthur Hill. It's coming your way next on Fox Sports Detroit. We're not horsing around. We're ready for the big game title matchup in Mount Pleasant. Let's get the starting lineup introductions from Joel Mitchell.
Good afternoon. Central Michigan University welcomes you to Rose Arena for today's final game in the 1998 Michigan High School Athletic Association Class A Girls Basketball Tournament. Sportsmanship begins at home. It begins with an attitude that how you play matters more than the final score. So please, be a good sport today. And now, let's meet the starting lineups for today's game between the visiting team Mustangs of Birmingham Marian High School and the home team Lumberjacks of Saginaw Arthur Hill High School. For Birmingham Marian, the starting lineup includes number 23, a 5', 10-inch junior, Crystal Andrews. At forward for Arthur Hill, number 23, 5', 5-inch senior, Tanisha Letson. At forward for the Mustangs, number 42, a 5', 11-inch senior, Angie Sheldon. And at number 24 for the Lumberjacks, at forward, 5', 8-inch junior, Naomi Nickelberry. At center for the Mustangs, number 24, 6', 3-inch senior, Nicole Anejanu. And at forward for Arthur Hill, number 50, 5', 10-inch senior, Katie Decker. Number 12, at guard for Birmingham Marian, 5', 7-inch senior, Danielle Genti. And at center for the Lumberjacks, number 32, 5', 11-inch senior, Shamika Jackson. And at the other guard for Birmingham Marian, number 34, 5', 8-inch senior, Kelly Byers. And at guard for Arthur Hill, number 3, 5', 6-inch senior, Nakia Woods. The head coach of the Mustangs is Mary Lily Cicerone. The head coach of the Lumberjacks is Bonnie Kilmer.
Bonnie Kilmer, one of the most respected coaches in the state of Michigan, has done just an extraordinary job in Saginaw since her playing days at the U of M. A mother of 2. In fact, she was pregnant 9 months just about when she was coaching her summer team up to the very final day. And of course, at the other side, Mary Lily Cicerone in her 23rd year at the helm of Marian. I'll show you again how they match up. Again, you're not going to see probably more than 6, maybe 7 players for Saginaw. Nickelberry was the semifinal star shooting the basketball. Jackson is their leading scorer. Woods, the point guard extraordinaire. And everything works through Angenu, Greg, in the middle for Marian.
As well it should. Angenu is going to draw a lot of help, a lot of extra defenders. So her decisions will go a long way in determining whether or not the perimeter players have room to negotiate. The other thing you have to consider for an Angenu is the fact that she has to stay out of foul trouble. With no foul trouble yesterday, committing just 2 fouls, she had a superb game.
She'll jump center. And it's won by the Mustangs. They lost in the finals in Class A a year ago to Grand Rapids Christian. They're thinking of atonement. Pass inside, stolen right away off the bat. And it's Arthur Hill basketball. That's Nickelberry. Superb outside shoot. She has a sweet stroke.
Yeah, person-to-person defense now. Starting the game for Marian.
Decker inside, who had the steal. Almost walked. 3-second violation. Took a little too much time to make up her mind.
You know what happened? A lot of hesitation because Decker was aware of the presence of an Angenu.
Marian with the basketball, thrown away out of bounds.
Well, as was the case in the first game, the Class D championship, a lot of nerves and jitters early. Turnovers, the result. Probably will be no different in this game.
Woods! Nakia gets the first basket of the ball game.
That is until Nakia Woods gets it. She is unable to be rattled, as demonstrated in the way she handled the ball yesterday against unending pressure from King.
Angela looks inside. That's her want. Passing the basketball first, and she found the open player, Angie Sheldon, who made a living in the semifinal scoring baskets like that from Nicole. Woods finding a marksman. He's fired. Back come the Mustang.
You know, I think it's a good thing that an Angeno can pass the basketball, especially when doubled. But for her team to be successful today, she has got to score, and she's got to score like she did yesterday. Probably will take at least 18 points from her today.
Jamaica Jackson with that determined steal. Took it right away from Nicole. Lutzen with the ball. Gave it up to Nickelberry.
Who is a superb shooter right there. Naomi Nickelberry, number 24. Watch her.
She's only a junior. Decker in the post. Swarm. Crystal Andrews forces the jump ball. And it is a possession arrow belonging to Arthur Hill. Opening couple of minutes of play in the Class A game. Woods can use either hand equal. Not so much shooting, but dribbling and passing. And you'll see a lot of these girls pass right off the dribble. The way the big guys do in the NBA. Still, Crystal Andrews ahead of the pack as an open teammate. Lefty, good. Kelly Myers, who is an outstanding shooter in her own right from the perimeter, but she got the easy layup.
Yeah, superb defense that time. Up top to Byers, who, as you indicated, Fred, got the layup, but wait till she takes a jump shot. She has picture-perfect form.
Rebound to Marian. Byers with a good head fake. Angeno has it. She's really deadly with a drop step from there. Missed shot inside, Sheldon with a rebound, then threw it away, trying to get it to Angeno. And it belongs to the Lumberjacks.
It's 3 turnovers so far by Marian. But on this particular play, the defense was sound as number 23, Crystal Andrews, stepped in, got the deflection, sent the pass up top to Kelly Byers, who got the layup.
That's Lutzen with it. Nickelberry out high. Runs it hard, runs into a double team. Decker for the foul line. Rebound to Jackson. Still Saginaw basketball. Lutzen on a hard penalty. Rims it out, Sheldon with a good hard rebound. Back come the Mustangs. They look for Angelo every chance they can. Myers inside, threw it away, but it goes off the hand of the Lumberjacks. She got a break.
Marian just needs to settle down and get solid in their attack. you know, their strength is inside in Angelo, but she has not touched the basketball inside.
Pass inside. Crystal Andrews with a left-hander. So she gets her first two. 6-2 Marian. Woods was cut off.
One advantage that Saginaw Arthur Hill has is in the speed and quickness. But they are at a decided advantage off the glass. So they're going to have to take good shots because it may very well be the only shot they get.
That's inside, perfect to Angelo.
See, that to me, when everything else is going wrong, you can go inside to her. She's going to be available, and you're usually going to get positive results.
That's what the 76ers used to say when Big Wilt was in there. Woods on the left-handed drive. Penetrates. Oh, clever.
And Angelo played like a dipper yesterday.
Woods is more like Tiny Archibald, right?
Yeah, quick.
McKee has 4. 8-4 in favor of the Mustangs.
Yeah, Woods can score, and she can handle it, as we talked about, can pass it.
Kelly Byers was fouled. .328 to play in the first quarter. You'll see before this game is over that Byers just has a picture-perfect stroke. In fact, you'll see the rotation at the foul line and ask her, who taught you that? She had a grin as big as the Detroit River. My dad. They used to work in the gym one-on-one, and she learned the technique at a very early age, and she shoots it without thinking about it. You saw it right there. Calm and easily netting 2 free throws, and Marian off to the quick getaway here in the Class A title game. 10-4. It'll be Arthur Hill ball when we come back. High school basketball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by the Detroit Free Press. For top coverage of preps and professional sports, turn to the pages of one of the nation's top sports sections. And by Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of the MHSAA Scholar Athlete Award. The Mustangs kicking up their heels here in the early part of this first quarter. Leading 10-4. But Arthur Hill will attack and put so much pressure offensively and defensively upon the Mustangs here that they're never out of any game. Ronnie Kilmer, whose husband is the high school hockey coach. In fact, Greg rather, her husband, for superstitious reasons, didn't come down here. He just felt better to stay at home, watch it on TV. So, Greg, I'm sure you're sweating bullets as we go through this Class A final.
Well, they just need to settle down in their attack, too. As I said, the key to success for them yesterday was moving the ball around, getting high percentage shots. They're going to need those high percentage shots today because of their lack of size on the glass. But they should be okay because they're all capable shooters and very good ball handlers.
Woods for 2.
So that's a high percentage shot. Coming off that baseline screen, she caught it, faced the basket, and had plenty of time to size it up.
You have a point guard that can score, too. Look out. She can take over the game. Stolen by Jackson inside, intended for Angelo.
Yeah, Jackson's going to give Angelo a lot of different looks. She's going to play behind sometimes. She's going to play in front. Not give her one dose of defensive pressure.
Nickelberry used the off arm to get free. Decker inside. Angelo wanted to block it. It's a jump ball. And the possession arrow goes in favor of the Mustangs. Angelo, first and foremost, is a defensive stalwart. And then at the offensive end, her game has just progressed as she has gotten older.
Well, you know, she was criticized for not playing strong, that is, inside through much of the regular season. However, she has turned it up a notch or two and has played with a lot of strength throughout the tournament.
Threw a bad pass there. Left it on the break.
Gotta convert that because that's where Arthur Hill was able to demonstrate their advantage. Speed and quickness. They got up the floor very quickly, but was not able to convert the layup.
Angelo looks inside, feathers beautifully on the mark to Angie Sheldon, who has 4 to go with her 5 rebounds.
Well, you know, yesterday, Angelo also had 5 assists in that game. And she has the ability to step out on the perimeter and make solid passes inside to other posting players.
Nickelberry puts it up. Well, she's got a scorer's mentality, doesn't she?
She really does. You know, she comes in to the game averaging just under 9 points a game, but she had 18 points in their win against King, clearly demonstrating her ability to score when necessary. She helped relieve a lot of that pressure with her jump shots down the stretch to hold off King.
This team is filled with nicknames and superstitions.
We talked about Anangelo, how she's able to step up on the perimeter and make solid passes. Look at this, over the top. The only person that was going to catch that ball is her teammate, Angie Sheldon. She put it in the right spot, and Sheldon had an easy layup.
First 2 points for Nickelberry, 12-8. Byers looking for an open cutter. Crystal Andrews, partially blocked by Nickelberry. Inside, Byers with a tough fall. And Kelly will go back to the line.
Yesterday, Martin Luther King garnered 31 offensive rebounds in their game against Saginaw Arthur Hill. I don't think that they can allow that same number and expect to prevail today. So they're going to have to figure out some way to put a body on Marian's players and limit them to one shot, hopefully, but certainly can't just allow the barrage of offensive rebounds that they gave King.
Quickness did it yesterday. They hope to have it do it again. Byers, perfect from the line. Now 4 for 4. She has 6 points. 14-8. Woods. And she double dribbled. She's quick, but not quite that quick of hand.
Well, you know, Anangelo, just when she gets down there, she just makes you think. And she was right down there under the basket. She hasn't a block shot in this game yet, but she certainly has caused a lot of hesitation.
That's Sheldon. On the low block, Byers wanted it. Crystal Andrews for 3. Wasn't comfortable shooting it. Rebound inside, Jackson.
That was a solid block out by Jackson and teammates. And they came away with just one shot attempt.
Perfect. Tanisha Letson gets on the score sheet. 14-11, she hit the 3 ball. And then the turnover for the Mustangs, giving Arthur Hill an extra possession. By the way, we have both coaches mic'd, so we'll jump into their huddle from time to time and really get to find out exactly what they're trying to do. Marian with her 7th miscue already. Nickelberry puts it up, way short, might have been partially deflected. At any rate, Marian ball.
Nickelberry's a good shooter, but right now she's forcing her shots.
Well, she's coming off a splendid game in the semifinals, and maybe her confidence is brimming, so maybe taking some shots she normally wouldn't take. Sheldon, patient, for 2. Angie Sheldon has 6.
They're milking that play for all they can get right now. Angelo up top, down low to Sheldon. I imagine later on they'll reverse those roles.
Woods is fouled by Katie Solman. Katie's just a freshman. So just a baby out there for Marian. I'd like to be a freshman starting for the varsity with a chance to have 3 more years at it.
I wasn't good enough.
No? No shame in that. Woods pulls up, foul, Sheldon. Cicerone in her 16th year, played collegiately at the U of D. Now look at Nakia Woods standing line left. You don't see many high school boys or girls do that.
But I'm okay with it because that's exactly where I shot my free throws from when I played.
That's right, you did, didn't you?
I certainly did.
Why? Explain that.
I felt that it gave me a better angle. I just wasn't comfortable shooting head on, so I moved over just a little bit, and my percentage went up significantly. Gave me just a slight angle, and I found that when I was missing to the right anyway. So, hey, why not move a little to your left?
Byers had the presence of mind to beat the horn, couldn't get it to fall. But an offensive-minded first quarter of basketball between these 2 Class A Titans. 16-13, Marian at the first break. Ready to start the second quarter. Lumberjacks coming into this ball game knowing they are undersized comparatively, but that's Nothing new. It's the way it's been all season, and they don't mind it at all.
I've never had any size there in 6 years, and this summer we all just decided we don't care about the size. And when we stopped focusing on how small we were, that's when everything started to turn for us. We said, okay, so we're not big, we're quick. We're going to make people play to that. And we're going to front and back people, you know, sandwich them a little bit inside if we got to, and we'll do what we have to do. And it's worked for us. It's, you know, when we quit moping about what we didn't have, things turned around.
Come on, stand and look what you're going to try to push. A lot of things you had yesterday aren't there right now. All right? Don't be satisfied just to be here, guys. Go get it. Come on, y'all. We can't go to the horn, guys. Defense, 1, 2, 3. Defense. Go, White. Go, George.
Shamika Jackson, number 32, is their tallest player at 5'11". But Katie Decker started at 5'10", and then it really goes down the ladder. So they do indeed have to beat you with speed. But as coach says, don't be satisfied just to make it to the finals for the first time. Let's win this thing.
I like that. You know why? Because you never guaranteed a trip back. You know, and that's if you're an underclassman and you've got additional years. You don't know if you're going to get back. So if you're fortunate enough to get to this level, you may as well win.
Jackson inside, may have been shoved by Angino. That's what the Saginaw crowd felt. No whistle, just good defense. Angino headed to Penn State, as we mentioned. Crystal Andrews inside, and she is fouled.
You know, in that first quarter, Marian had 6 field goals, all 6 in the paint. So they're really working that interior. But surprisingly, they're not doing it with Angino. They're doing it with everyone else. And they've got her out on the perimeter, sort of as a passer, a decoy.
Crystal Andrews, first of 2. She'll try again. She's the starting point guard by necessity because of the injury right there to Jasmine McAlpine. Tore her knee ligament, 17 games in, a true bona fide point guard. And Crystal Andrews has had to step up her game. Rebound inside, Angino too hard. Sheldon had it knocked away and stolen by Nickelberry. 16-13 score, ball goes off the hands of Jackson. So an unforced error, that time by the Jacks. Unexpected. Solner wasn't ready for it. Easy steal for the Lumberjacks. First minute of play in the second quarter. Nickelberry for 3. In and out. Rebound though to the white shirts. Jackson got it. Letson will try. Toe on the line. Nowhere near.
Those were dropping yesterday. Still maintain, if you're willing to be patient, you can get the shot you want. You don't have to let the defense dictate, and Saginaw Arthur Hill has to think that way.
Angino misfired. Oh, and a reach-in foul. Saginaw Arthur Hill.
I think that foul's going to go on Angino, and she's got to avoid that. Those are the errors that she cannot afford to have because fouls can potentially mount very quickly with her.
Well, you see the field goal situation. Marian at 50%. Saginaw Arthur Hill having trouble finding the early mark. Woods in a clever drive, and her quickness through that whistle. Nakia hopes to play college basketball at Oakland U, or perhaps right here at CMU. But as an 8th grader, Coach Kilmer felt she was one of the top 5 players in Saginaw as an 8th grader. And we're talking varsity, freshman, JV.
Well, I can believe that. I mean, you know, she is very skilled. And her ability to handle that ball the way she did yesterday with either hand, sometimes dribbling the basketball with 2 people chasing her and setting up teammates once she got herself out of the pressure, was just superb.
Well, the Kelser free throwing method works again for 2 more. Nakia with 10.
I wish I could say that I influenced her, but she probably wasn't born when I played.
Doesn't remember you, huh? Doesn't remember magic either, so don't feel bad. 16-15 our score.
Maybe she looked at some old film.
Not black and white.
Oh, no.
Arthur Hill looking to take the lead. Woods cut off by good defense. And Kristen Gack, who's just checked in. Feathered pass to Jackson, blocked by Angino. Those long arms work again. And she does it so many times without committing the foul.
She has excellent timing. She really doesn't leave her feet until you leave yours.
Byers was the cutter, didn't get it.
And
Byers. The dribble drive. Hard drive. Rebound, Sheldon again, and it blocked. Pulled down by Andrews, another try for the Mustangs. In the lane. Fought for Woods, saw the open man, couldn't get it. Off balance pass, Gack pulled it down. Andrews tees it up for three. Look it. Crystal Andrews has 5. 19-15 Marian. Back comes Woods. You cannot turn your head with number 3 handling the ball. Nickelberry out high. Now Woods will start to play.
Woods can get penetration.
And with either hand, that's the double-barrel trouble you have defending it.
The only problem is once you get that penetration, guess who's waiting for you inside?
Nicole Anthony. Fouling Andrews. Not quite able to move her feet quick enough.
A few moments ago, Crystal Andrews was able to drop the 3. That was the second opportunity as Marian had forced a turnover.
Woods and Nickelberry pitch and catch. Letson hasn't looked to shoot much so far. She did in the semis. Woods will hoist.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nakia Woods with 13, Greg.
See, her ball handling ability allows her to get her own offense. That time she was being guarded by number 20, being guarded by Kristen Gack. And Gack had to play off of her a little bit, respecting that driving ability. That little room that she gave her was enough to get that jumper off.
Arthur Hill down 1 as they play more defense. That's Byers on the run, off balance. Needed to go left hand there if she could have.
Nice job rebounding there. Shanika Jackson with the big board.
Woods steals it. Nakia with 15. She averages 14 and a half a game. And the Lumberjacks lead by 1.
She is trying to provide some leadership and some confidence for her team right now. I think everybody else still a little hesitant, but not Nakia Woods. She's going right after it.
Andrews looks inside to Angelo. They've got to find their big center. They did that time. Just her second field goal, though.
I got to imagine that eventually she'll start to matriculate into the post area, because right now she's spending so much time out on that perimeter. For them to be successful in this game, Angelo is going to have to score in the paint.
But it's amazing. Marian with 15 points up front, only 4 from their start.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign, I guess, if you're a Mustang worshiper.
Oh, see, now Nakia Woods set the pace. Now the confidence starts to become contagious. And stepping off that screen, shooting that ball with that confidence was Letson.
Tanisha with 5. We go back and forth now, 22-21. Here comes Andrews, a high hop dribble, and she walks. Crystal really looking to become offensive in this game, more so than being a distributor as she was in the semifinals.
I'm a little surprised with that, because you would think that Kelly Byers would start to get a few more points.
A good one here for the Class A finale. 22-21, Arthur Hill in front. Don't forget, Michigan girls basketball players ages 7 through 17. You can sign up now for the first annual Regal by Buick Nancy Lieberman Klein basketball camp. It's coming up on January 8th through the 10th at Oakland University. For more information, call 313-438-3959. Well, the young lady's putting on a clinic here in the Class A title game. Good defense, tough rebounding. Certainly some good shooting, particularly by Nakia Woods. Had 2 men coaches going at each other in the Class D finale. And 2 top-notch ladies coaches doing battle here in the Class A battle. Inside Nickelberry, plays it. Naomi has her first field goal, 24-21, Arthur Hill.
And you would hope that that would get her confidence going because she is a superb shooter who has struggled in this game thus far.
Kelly Byers thought about taking it to the hole. Turned it over the last time she did it. Angenu pointing to a teammate, Sheldon, saying get the ball to her out high. That's Gak on the drive. Blocked by Nickelberry. Down the floor. 3 on none break. Jackson.
It was all keyed by the defense of Nickelberry on the block. You know, she is playing very good defense. Keep in mind, a few moments ago, she went inside and got a steal after a rebound by Marian. So she's finding other ways to help her team.
Back the other way, Byers hits it.
There's that form we talked about. Byers coming off a screen, catching and shooting. I'd imagine that timeout, her coach probably said, hey, you got to get more involved in the action. You're not getting enough good looks at the basket. So she came off that screen looking to score.
Woods in traffic, and she drew another foul. That's the dilemma. Not only does she beat you off the dribble, but when you try to help out, she's got the great double clutch hang time to draw the contact. I think she's watched a few NBA games in her time.
Well, she knows what she's doing when she gets in there, and now she's got 2 fouls on Nicole Angenu, and Angenu has to be concerned about that. I mean, that's why we said earlier when she got that first foul, which was ill-advised, she can't afford those. Here's Nickelberry's block. She timed it perfectly.
She ate it up, didn't she?
She consumed it.
And then Jackson on the easy lay-in. Woods, uncharacteristically, missing both. So the Mustangs down 3 as they go to work. Coming up on a minute to play in the first half. Byers tried to save it. Over and back.
See, when you've got quickness as opposed to size, you as Coach said right there, you utilize that advantage. You pick up the pace, you pressure, you give some different looks, you'll cause some turnovers. Things can go your way. That's a strength. You don't have to look at it as a weakness.
Nickelberry cut off that time by a sea of blue. Letson will foul.
How about the pump fake? Did you see it?
Sure did.
Along the baseline. It got the defender out of the picture and gave Letson more time to get her corner shot off.
5-point game as Danielle Janke goes to work. Pass inside Angenu. Stops. Missed it though. Rebound Sheldon again.
Oh, she tried to feather it.
Gak will try. 3 that's nowhere near. Out of bounds to the Lumberjacks. Yeah, I would imagine that in the second half we're going to see the Mustangs go more to the big star in the middle. And I'm sure Mary Lily Cicerone will map that out at halftime because so many times it comes because Nicole is being so unselfish. Yeah. Now she heads to the bench not to pick up that 3rd foul.
Yeah, good move to get her out of the game.
Jackson on the block. Turns hard. Draws a foul. Sarah Cashin picked it up. She just checked in for Angenu.
And how about the move? Angenu goes out of the game, so immediately you go down low to Jackson, try to get her going, and she's able to draw a foul.
That's good recognition. Jackson a 78% free throw. Misses the first. So the Lumberjacks have missed 3 straight. She missed them both. Rebound inside, though, to the Lumberjacks. Letson got it, then threw it away. Marian with time. Byers looked at the clock. Cut off by Woods. She knows she's stronger than her, and a blocking foul on Nakia. 2nd foul on Woods. Byers has that gamer mentality, boy. Not only does she have the sweet stroke, but you can tell there she does not hesitate to put it on the deck. Gotta hurry. Good! Danielle Janke hits her only field goal, and it's a 3-point bomb to boot. Drawing the Mustangs within 2 at halftime at 28-26. Who knows, we might look back upon that basket as a huge one come game's end.
Well, down 5, you get it in, move it out top, and Janke able to knock it down, a big basket. Nice to go into halftime with that type of success.
Marian led by 6. Arthur Hill led by as many as 5. Let's go over to Mickey York.
All right, Fred, thank you. Coach Kilmer, you put it together there towards the end of the first half, but it looked like you came out a little bit tight at the onset.
Yeah, I think we're tight. We need to get going. We need to get running. We need to get moving. We're standing around a lot. I think there may be a little bit in awe of being here. Marian's been here a lot, and we haven't, so we need to get it moving.
I was going to say, it's pretty much been a half-court game. You would like to get out and run more in the second half, wouldn't you?
Yes, that's the goal.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot. Fred, we got a heck of a game going on so far, but it still has a lot to live up to that Class D game.
Absolutely, but we're not doing too bad here in the first half with a 2-point difference between these successful programs. 28-26, Saginaw, Arthur Hill in front. Plenty at halftime. Stay with us on Fox Sports Detroit. At halftime, another good one. The Lumberjacks of Saginaw, Arthur Hill leading the Marian Mustangs 28-26 at intermission. Well, I guess if the Mustangs are the consummate program for girls high school basketball in the 90s, with this their third championship appearance, then maybe if you have to go back into the 70s and 80s, it was a program put together at Flint Northern that set the tone for everybody to try to follow. One of the state's great Class A programs, Flint Northern, the focus of our halftime feature. Imagine 4 consecutive Class A championships, a 76-game winning streak from 1978 through 1981. The Flint Northern girls basketball team established themselves as one of the great programs in the state.
Had 3 great years here at Flint Northern High School, playing with some very talented young ladies, and we had some good runs here.
Latia Hewley is the current girls basketball coach at Flint Northern, but she was also a huge part of the 1978, 79, and 80 championships. A 3-year starter at point guard, she never lost a game in her high school career.
At the time, we had a real dominant front line and control the tempo of the game. If someone's hot, make sure they get the ball, take control of the tempo, and, just make sure the game go the way Miss K wanted it to go.
Now, the Vikings were coached by the legendary Dorothy Kukula, Dottie K as she was known to friends. She started the girls basketball program at Flint Northern and retired in the late 80s with an incredible 189-37 record.
Anytime, a day or night, she was there for them if they needed her. But she was a strict disciplinarian. She believed in getting with the books and doing those things that would make you a good student, as well as those things that would make you a better young lady.
You had to hit the books. We had what we call eligibility cards that we had to take around, and if we had a D on it, we couldn't play.
Though it has been 20 years, the memories of the Vikings' dominance remain strong.
If you were into athletics, you knew that, hey, this was something that would stand in the history of Michigan high school athletics.
They come into the office and they see their mom on the wall and they go, oh man, I can't believe she played. Oh, your mom was good.
Yeah, how they grew up fast, huh? 17 years ago, the Vikings celebrated their 4th and final Class A championship, and they're being honored here at halftime as we speak as a part of the Legends of the Game that the State High School Athletic Association tries to weave the past into the present. And they certainly deserve the ovation they're getting here today at the Rose Arena for a tremendous job and really setting the pace for the future for girls high school basketball in this state. But that is amazing, Greg. I don't care what sport you're talking about. Back-to-back-to-back-to-back titles.
Because everybody's gunning for you.
We'll be back with more at halftime. Take a look at some key highlights of the first half. Can Nicole Angelou get untracked in the second half? She's going to have to if the Mustangs are going to win. Well, the Lumberjacks outscored the Mustangs in the second quarter 15-12. Thus they lead at intermission by 2. Let's get the coach's thoughts and bring in Mickey.
Fred, thank you very much. Linda Harlan joins us again. And Bonnie Kilmer wants to get out and run in the second half, but you really think the key is getting Shamika Jackson involved on the offense.
I think their perimeter play has been outstanding, and I think they've really run the fast break real well. But I think they have to get Shamika Jackson involved. She's kind of like falling into the wayside on offense, and she's not getting involved, and she's walking around. I think she needs to move up a little higher towards the high post, get open, and go around Nicole, because she won't be able to shoot over. She's got a couple blocked shots, and now she's a little down. They need to get her involved, though, because they need her in that offense.
You also think that Nicole Angelou has to step it up in the second half for Marian as well.
She's a great player and a great passer, but I think now she has to look more to score. And in this second half, she has to take the ball to the hole. She's taller than anybody else, go to the offensive boards, and put some points on for Marian.
For the most part, it's been a half-court game. Does that favor Marian?
I think a half-court game does, because Arthur Hill likes to get out and run, and it's a fast-paced game. Marian likes to set up and run the offense, take a little time off the clock, and get that great shot inside. So the faster the pace, I feel, is Arthur Hill's favor. The slower the pace is Marian's favor.
All right, well, a 2-point game at halftime. This one has the looks of going right down to the wire again, Fred.
Can our hearts take it? But Nicole Angenou in the first half only took 5 shots, getting 4 points. But keep in mind, she averages 14 points a game and has been a huge threat scoring in the postseason. We'll be back to get Greg Kelser's look at the highlights and the stats, and then get that third quarter rolling. The fun is just starting in the Class A. All right, the Mustangs trail the Lumberjacks at halftime, 28-26. Let's see what the Marian side of things looks like as we get ready to start the third quarter. Mickey?
All right, Fred, thanks. Coach Cicerone, a half-court game would seem to favor your team. Would you like to see that continue here in the second half, wouldn't you?
Yeah, we like to push the ball a little bit too, but we're struggling trying to get through some picks, and we're not very good in our man offense right now, so that's what we mainly talked about. We're not getting the ball reversed. We're not getting people making good cuts, and so we're going to try to get the ball to Cole a lot more in the second half, but they're doing a good job on her. And, you know, we're just going to try to do it that way.
Nicole has 2 fouls. Are you concerned at all about that at this point?
Yeah, because, you know, we really hasn't been that big of an aggressive game, and she's already got 2, and I got Danielle with 2, and we put them in the free throw and too many times that half. So we're going to have to do a better job. But Nakia, she is so tough. I mean, you can't give her any breathing room. And I don't really think she's really tried too hard yet.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot. Good luck in the second half. Inside game versus the fast break game of Arthur Hill. What do you like, Fred?
I don't know. Can't lose on either count. But, you know, Nicole Angenou, there have been times in her career, not only this year, but in past years, where the coach would say, Nicole, shoot the ball. Last year there was a game where she was passing so much, and she said, well, Stacy hasn't taken a shot yet. And Mary Lily Cicerone is saying, I don't care right now. I want you to score, and I'm sure she's imploring her to do that in the second half.
Well, I maintained in the first quarter that in order for Marian to be successful in this game, they may need to get 18 to 20 points from Angenou. And she has not been an offensive threat very much in this game. So I firmly believe that at halftime they have implored her to get involved in the offense.
All right, let's check the first half highlights. Both teams with some offensive plays worth noting. And we begin this way with the Lumberjacks.
Well, there's Nakia Woods firing from the outside. She had 15 first half points. Efforts like this helping her be successful. I thought she was the most confident player on the floor for either team early going. And then inside, one of few opportunities for Angenou. Here she steps outside, drops it down low to Sheldon, who had 6 points in that first half. And then, of course, nice pump fake along the baseline for Letson. And this just to end the half. They kick it out to Jackie, who pulls her team to within 2 at the buzzer.
And this is undoubtedly where the Mustangs missed McAlpine, their star point guard, because of the knee injury. Nakia Woods, the player out there who's been the offensive star of this game so far. Statistically speaking, while the Lumberjacks have shot the ball a little bit better, at least for the first couple of quarters until Marian started to surge at the end of the half, 48% to 46% for the Lumberjacks. Teams are even in 3 points. Free throwing pretty even as well.
And if you look right down at the bottom, points in the paint, 14 points for Birmingham Marian, but not a lot of activity from Angenou. That, I think, will change.
And 11 turnovers for Marian. They're fortunate to be as close as they are down 2 with so many mistakes.
This is very true, but they've gotten some distance out of their rebounding and their interior play. But again, you talk about the second half. The second half is always a half where you got to really buckle down, get rid of the nerves, take care of the basketball. This game is so close that, again, I think that may be the determining factor.
We saw it in the Class D game where the stars stepped up for their respective teams. Will Woods and Angenou do the same thing here in the second half? I would look for it. Does Marian roll? The answer coming up. Well, Saginaw Arthur Hill with 2 defeats this season, taking on the Mustangs with 3 setbacks. 2 of them, as a matter of fact, during the regular season to Bishop Borges. This team really had to struggle to get here out of the districts. They had a double overtime win over Oak Park. And then another game in which they won by 4. So they felt fortunate for the time being that they were here. Now that they are indeed in the title game, they feel like the confidence is back. As Coach Kilmer's team, as you mentioned, 1 win their first 2 years, 1-41. How about that? And 4 years later, they're playing for the title.
You know, most places they be looking to make a coaching change, so you have to really applaud that administration for staying with what is a good coach.
Kelly Byers shuffled the shoes. She knew it. So back comes Arthur Hill in a 28-26 lead. 2 more games to follow on Fox Sports Detroit. C game at 5. The title game at 8 o'clock. Stolen by Angelou. Guys looks inside to Nicole. There you go. You knew that was coming.
For me, that would be all day and every time down the floor the rest of the way.
The idea is to get Nicole to shoot it, to look for it. Not to be so unselfish. Letson fires. Tanisha has 9. That's 30-28. Lumberjacks back in front by a deuce.
Tanisha Letson's a solid performer off that baseline, and her pump fake is very, very convincing.
And again to Angelou. 2 more. They're gonna have to start doubling down, perhaps.
And when they do, you feel confident that because she is an unselfish player and a good passer, she'll find the open person on the floor.
Oh, she does. She's an outstanding assist player off the double team. 30-30. Letson with a hand in her face. Good look, Nickelberry to Jackson, and 2-time traffic, and she traveled.
See, it's going to be very difficult for Nickelberry to have any success in that paint area going against Angelou. Angelou is very mobile defensively, but what she can do is look to be a passer out of that area. She may have to eschew her scoring today in favor of passing. Look at this.
Angelou again.
It's like stealing.
At 6'3", Nicole has 3 straight hoops for the Mustangs. They lead 32-30. You see why Penn State wanted her badly. Decker, good head fake. Missed it, though. Angelou with a rebound.
Yeah, she's playing big now.
Past the 6-minute mark to play in the third. She wants it again. Too tall for even Nicole. Pass stolen by Letson. Woods hasn't taken her first shot in the third. Now she does. Missed it. Rebound, Jackson. And a foul. That's going to be on Crystal Andrews.
The speed. You know, that's almost as good as a drive and dish. You got Nakia Woods taking the baseline on the dribble drive. She goes to the basket. She draws a couple of defenders. She gets her shot up on the window. It does not go down, but Shamika Jackson able to come in and clean up on the offensive glass because her defender had to go over and help out on Woods. So again, penetration really hurts a defense.
Jackson at the line. Coach Kilmer feels she's the best kept secret in Michigan in terms of a senior high schooler, good enough to play somewhere collegiately.
But right now, that 78% free throw shooter, 0 for 4 from the free throw line. She's got to get it going when she gets there.
And again, she's a 78% free thrower during the season. Here come the Lumberjacks off the TO. 3-on-2, Letson.
There's the speed and quickness once again. Beating Marian down the floor. Excellent balance on the fast break. Right option in choosing Letson.
Dead even again at 32. Myers looking for Angelou. Jackson trying to play her halfway. Shot is missed. Out of bounds to the Blue Shirts.
Again, showing that speed and quickness, getting up the floor very quickly. Look at Katie Decker. She's the trigger person off the break. Gets it over to Letson. Again, 5 players out on the floor. All can handle the ball. So it really doesn't matter who's bringing it up the floor. That's a tremendous advantage.
Angelou can hit that shot from 12 feet. Looking for Byers. Good pump fake. Missed it. Rebound chase down. We're going to have a jump ball. And a possession arrow goes to Saginaw. Lumberjacks will try to break the tie. That's Woods. Gave it up to Nickelberry. Tries for a tray. Short. Long rebound. Hustled down by Byers. Mustangs on the attack. 4.5 to play in the third in the Class A championship game. Last D affair went to overtime. Could we headed for extra time again? Kind of looking that way. Angino inside.
Let me tell you something. Beautiful job of directing by Angino. She knew that the pass could not come in from the free throw line, so she motioned, swing it over, and let's enter from that side. And on her command, they swung it to the opposite side of the floor, and they were able to make the entry pass.
Woods stolen by Sheldon. 2-on-1 with Byers against Woods. Sheldon for two. Angie Sheldon has played a superb ball game. Unsung hero on this Mustang team. The other players that get a little more notoriety, but Angie Sheldon standing up big in the rebounding department, and then with a steal for her 4th hoop.
I talked a moment ago about Angino directing. Look, right there, she's being defended. Now the pass isn't going to be able to come in from right there, so smartly they swing it over to Jackie. Now a better passing angle. Angino is able to get it off the window. As easy as it gets.
Very well explained, because sometimes an entry pass from the top may look more inviting, but it's not the one you want.
All it takes is patience, make that extra pass, and then all of a sudden you have a much higher field goal attempt. So
Angelo really turning it up here, looking to score. Her teammates are looking for her. That's a key element too. Over the 4 field goals in the third, now with 12 points.
Yeah.
Mustangs by 4. Kilmer and company looking to come back. Nickelberry.
Oh, big mistake there.
Fouled. A 3-point shot attempt, so Nickelberry will have 3 freebies coming up.
Nickelberry's been struggling with her shot. Sheldon's done a good job of just keeping a hand in her face, but that time got contact, and she's going to put the 3-point shooter on the free throw line.
Naomi transferred from Saginaw High, sat out a year, now playing this her junior season. I want to remind you this copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the MHSAA and may not be reproduced or retransmitted without the express written consent of the MHSAA and Fox Sports Detroit. Nickelberry didn't get the hop. 36-33, she settles for 1 out of 3. Mustangs by 3 with the ball. Angelo being fronted by Jackson. Backside help from Lutson if they need it. Inside, Anders, and a block by Nickelberry.
Nickelberry again. She's the eraser in there.
She's a feisty player.
Yes, she is.
At both ends.
I like the fact that though she's struggling with her offense, she's doing the dirty work on the defensive end, helping her team in this effort.
That's Lutson, who's cut off by Byers. Woods has been quiet offensively. Hasn't looked to score here in this half. She may have to. She was brilliant in the first half with 15. Out of bounds, goes off Jackson's hands. Belongs to Birmingham, Marian.
Shamika Jackson had 12 field goal attempts yesterday. She is not really an offensive factor in this game.
And that may have to change for the Lumberjacks to spring a bit of an upset. This is almost ready to toss up, and that's how they played it so far in the third.
Box out. Make sure she follows you next time she's going to block that shot. All right? This is it. You're playing now, okay? We're sitting pretty here. We're all comfortable. Remember, they don't let them make a run on you. They might. Okay, just keep your composure. Remember what we're trying. In 4 out, we need at least 3 passes. Before we can get that ball. Most of the time, 3 passes before we can get it into it. Don't force Gate. If we don't have it the first time, hey, if Gate doesn't work that first time, get right into 4 out. Okay, let's go, Marian. 1, 2, 3. Let's go, Marian.
Coach Lily Cicerone reminding her team of their composure. That's what got them here. That's what we talked about at the outset. They showed it in the semifinal win over Okemos, and they must rely on it again. That heritage of Marian basketball that's been of championship caliber in the past, sort of by osmosis, filters down to the youngsters. But will it carry them through the second half? We'll wait and see. Crystal Andrews with the basketball. Angela looking for position down low. That's Byers. Looking for his center. Travel. That was close.
She shuffled them. She wanted to get her shot off. She's been played very, very tightly. Kelly Byers, that is, in this game. They realize that she's a superb shooter. She just hasn't had the room to maneuver.
She may have to penetrate a little bit. She's got the ability to do it. Nickelberry with it against Sheldon. Coming up on 2.5 to play in the third. Lumberjacks down 3. Woods was 5 for 5 shooting in the first half. Has been the distributor here in the third quarter.
Good ball movement.
Decker for the foul line. Rebound fought for. And it belongs to the Mustang.
That was good ball movement and a nice idea to hit the flashing player in the post area, Decker. However, Decker turned and shot the ball so quickly, it was as if she did not want to get it blocked. She was aware of the presence of Angino.
But she was open. Near steal by Woods. Flyers didn't panic.
Time to go back down low.
They do. Okay, coach. Angino scores again. She's got the soft touch. Once she does get it on the low block, she's got 14.
She sets it up so well that when she catches, it's just turn and lay it up.
Yeah, she's ready to shoot. Jackson has it.
More importantly, she's staying out of foul trouble. She's got those 2 fouls, but no more in this second half.
Nickelberry. Jackson called for it. No whistle. Rebound Byers. Here comes Marian, looking to expand a 5-point lead. Their biggest has been 6. Buck and a half to play in the third quarter. Crystal Andrews wanted it. Waiting for position for Angino. They're certainly taking advantage of number 24 in the middle. Backside help. Decker too late. Didn't matter anyway. Angino was 16. She's got 12 in the quarter.
Now, what's going to happen now? Marian is going to have to stop fronting her and keep a person behind her so that when she catches, you can at least get a double team on her.
2-on-1. Fires beautifully back to Sheldon, who missed it. Has a second chance. She'll go to the line.
Very nicely done on the break. I said Marian, but what Arthur Hill has to do to combat the inside attack of Marian is maybe keep a defender behind Angino. Do not allow her to lock you on the front side so that when you catch, there's no help side defense.
But there's going to be some double teaming that Saginaw Arthur Hill's going to have to go to.
If you keep a person behind her, when she catches, you can then double down and force her to give it up. Right now, with no help defense, because you're fronting, the minute she catches quickly, she's going to the hoop. There is no time to double. There's no time for help side, and she is wrecking Saginaw Arthur Hill right now.
Sheldon splits it. That gives the Mustangs, though, a pad of 8. Inside a minute to play in the third. Arthur Hill needs to close strong. Nickelberry tried a 3. Rebound. Letzina up. Sheldon battling again. She gets her hands on more basketballs than any kid out there today.
See, right now it's a half-court game, and it's favoring Marian because they've got the half-court dominator right there.
Angino, 2 more. Like a machine. Nicole with 18.
Penn State can't wait.
That's the only school she considered. And she's headed to Happy Valley. 43-33, Marian by 10. Angino is perfect in 7 tries in this quarter. Letson banks it home. Tanisha with 13. But it's an 8-point Marian Mustang lead. They found their star. Nicole Angino, a dancer all her life. Had a session for this afternoon, but she won't be there. She's a little busy right now in Mount Pleasant. High school basketball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by the Detroit Free Press. For top coverage of preps and professional sports, turn to the pages of one of the nation's top sports sections. And by Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of the MHSAA Scholar Athlete Award. The Mustangs by 8. 8 minutes to go in the Class A championship game, primarily because of Nicole Angino.
Well, they finally realized that, hey, this can be a consistent source of scoring. And they got it into her repeatedly. She was 7 of 7 in that quarter, 14 points. But Fred, if you notice one common thread in this montage, each time the defender was locked on top. You cannot front Nicole Angino with any success. You've got to play behind and hope for some help down defense.
I'm no ballet expert, but I'll tell you what, you can tell she has a dance background. I mean, she's so fluid with her feet.
Oh, yeah. And a smile that lights up a room. However, you won't see it when she's on the floor.
Post game, she saves that for that charming personality. Mustangs with the ball by 8 to start the fourth. Lumberjacks have to dig in. Byers. Boom. It's for 3. Kelly Byers, 11.
You know what? At halftime, she stood in that exact spot and kept taking jump shots and was knocking most of them down. That seems to be her point of comfort on the floor. And finally, she got a chance to take one, and she got it to go.
The Lumberjacks are going to have to turn up the tempo in this ball game. They trail by 11, their biggest deficit. Nickelberry, pass flipped away by Angelo.
Yep, not going to happen. Not going to happen. You're not going to be able to lob over the top of her. She's 6 feet 3 inches tall and long arms. Here's that 3. She wanted to get it inside to Angelo, but no. Played softly by the defense. Byers able to get one to go down.
Nickelberry missed. Jackson saved, but to the blue shirts. 3-on-1. Janke, bounce feed to Byers.
Superb pass by Janke. Byers with that left hand. I guess her dad taught her that too. And now Marian, a 13-point lead.
Now Saginaw Arthur Hill must keep their composure, not be firing up shots at will. They've got to take them within their offense. They need some turnovers and some easy baskets. 13-point game. In deep, Angelo. Almost went down, but it wouldn't have counted anyway. She shuffled the shoes.
Notice that time she had all 5 defenders right around her.
Now look what the Mustangs have done. A torrid 20-5 ambush here in the last 8 minutes. Jackson blocked by Angelo. She got there late, but got it. Wow. And she was 6th in the missed basketball battling. Wow.
Really?
Nakia Woods for Saginaw was number 5. Sheldon, baseline toss to Angelo. Good hawking defense by the Lumberjacks. And it'll be their basketball off the jump ball.
You know, clearly, it's not hard to figure out why Marian is so successful right now. They have gotten the ball inside to their star, and she has delivered. Nothing else can be said. Defensively, they've been very sound. Rebounding ball, they've been very good. But on the offensive end is where they made the biggest adjustment, and they're realizing tremendous success right now.
Joy Strong tried to hold on to it, but stronger was Kelly Byers. Mustangs have the look of a team that's been here.
You got to give Crystal Andrews as well as Kelly Byers a lot of credit for handling the basketball and taking over the ball handling duties in the absence of McAlpine, Jasmine McAlpine, who, as you mentioned, in the 17th game of the year, had the injury that ended her season.
Look at Angelo. Another one flipped in. She's had all her points in the paint. And forces a 20-second timeout by the Lumberjacks with a 15-point lead. You know, it's funny, Jasmine McAlpine thrilled to be here in the finals, even as a spectator, but there's part of her saying, yeah, but you're doing it without me. So she feels bad in that sense.
Well, you want to be in there. There's no question about that. But you're still a part of it. You competed in 17 games, 17 very successful campaigns, and now you're unable to go because of injury. But hey, this is as much your championship you can hold on as anyone else's.
1, 2, 3. Defense. Let's go, White.
Well, Vonnie Kilmer knew coming in that their speed would have to affect the tempo of this game for them to win, and she feared greatly the power and the grace of Angelo in one package. Nakia Woods, Greg, has to step up. She has gone unscored, or hasn't scored at all, is what I'm trying to spit out here in the second half. But she hasn't looked to shoot.
She's gonna have to take over much the way she did while scoring those 15 points in the first half.
Nickelberry, a high rainbow for 3. Boy, the Lumberjacks needed that in a huge way. 50-38.
They've got to turn this game from here on out, that is Saginaw Arthur Hill, into a rat race. They have got to turn up the pressure, take the risk of maybe giving up some layups or some easy shots, but they've got to quicken the pace of this game and try to get turnovers and as many possessions as possible.
Now the turnover gives it back to the white shirts and a foul on the drive. Kelly Byers with a reach in on Woods. .452 left. This baby's far from over because the Lumberjacks can score quickly. The problem is finding an answer defensively at the other end. Ball flipped away by Angelo.
See, it's just, that's too tough of a pass. As much as they'd like to get the basketball inside to Shamika Jackson, it's just not going to happen on that type of pass when she's being fronted by Angelo.
Nickelberry with it. Finding open player Woods for two. See, Nakia hasn't lost a touch. She's got 17.
You mentioned they can score very quickly. They just demonstrated it. They got 5 quick points, 5-0 run.
Woods with a near steal. Out of bounds to the Lumberjacks. The press forcing the turnover.
This is the pace, and this is the helter-skelter that they must create in order to get back into this game.
Smart timeout by Lily Cicerone. A 20-second discussion. Points is nothing, she said.
She's right.
The players know it.
She's right. Hey, it was 15 points less than a minute ago.
Lumberjack fans getting fired up now. They sense a comeback. It would be remarkable if they can pull it off. Down 15 with a little more than 5 minutes to go. Nickelberry called for it. Confident shooter, high rainbow three. That would have cut it to 7.
And it looked online from where we were.
Sure did. Yeah, Marian will burn some clock. Near steal by Jackson.
Marian will try to burn clock, but because of the way the defense is going to play and force the tempo, I don't think they're going to. But that's the risk you run, giving up an easy basket. But if you're Arthur Hill, you really have no other choice right now.
Well, again, you lose your double teams in that situation, and Angelo, you can't stop her one-on-one. Inside Jackson. Got it. Shamika has her second field goal. She averages 17 points a game, only has 2 hoops. Woods and a steal and a foul. Nakia has 19, will look for 20.
And how about the calm look on her face? I mean, she's not over-celebrating because she knows there's still a huge mountain to climb. But look at this. There's the tip, the retrieval, the foul, and the hoop.
What do coaches always preach about trying to pass over a defender?
Well, the thing is, when you're taking the ball out on the baseline after a made basket, you have the flexibility to run that baseline. Don't take it out underneath the basket. Move along the baseline and get yourself an opening.
Woods missed a 3-point play opportunity, but it's an 8-point difference.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to take time off the clock. They'd really like to, but look at the pressure. They're going to keep it fast.
Inside, blocked by Letson. As Danielle Janke a little slow pulling the triggers. Maybe she wasn't certain that Letson was charging behind her. 3:21 to play. 8-point deficit facing Saginaw Arthur Hill in Mount Pleasant. A little more than 3 minutes to play at the Rose Arena. 52-44 in favor of the gang from Birmingham. Don't forget, tune in every night for Fox Sports News Primetime. All the scores, highlights, all the breaking stories, covering your hometown teams 7 nights a week. We are there. Fox Sports News Primetime tonight, following the Red Wings game on Fox Sports Detroit. Guys in LA also have highlights of the Spartans and the Huskies. UConn hosting Michigan State. But look at Angelo, perfect 9 for 9 in the second half. That's why she's an all-stater. Making amends for a year ago when she was 5 for 21 in the finals game. Janke gave it up to Byer. Marian is going to settle for only a good shot. Time is on their side, an 8-point lead. Under 3 minutes to go.
Saginaw, Arthur Hill really not up pressuring like I thought they would be, and now they do, and they get the turnover.
So the travel, as Janke gives it up.
You know, Fred, it was almost as if they were sitting back in a semi-zone that time, or a box in 3. 2 people on Angelo. Can't afford that right now.
But they've got to be perfect offensively. Strong was fouled as she drove it to the hole. Joy Strong, who has not scored today, hasn't played very much, but on the floor here in crunch time.
Well, Strong is the only one to get playing time off the bench. yesterday or today. And now she's being called upon to make 2 big free throws that can pull her team to within 6 points and 2 possessions.
She'll try again. Foul, by the way, on Angenou, her 3rd. 2:40 to go. Got it. So that cuts it to 52-45. Full court pressure again by the Lumberjacks. But they've enjoyed a 10-2 surge themselves. They need some more mistakes by the gang in blue. Marian showing that poise, though, of a veteran club and drawing the foul. Something that Coach Lily Cicerone has really preached from day one, establishing a tradition. And then as players graduate, others pick up the torch as it's passed. And they're doing it here this afternoon.
Well, good job of keeping that ball on the move and avoiding any double teams that might cause you to turn it over by Marian.
Arthur Hill getting close to the time now where they may have to foul and start trading a bucket for a free throw or 2. Timeout, 2:08 to play in the 4th quarter. A 52-45 lead for Birmingham Marian. Let's go into the Saginaw huddle. Bonnie Kilman.
I told you about the timeouts, and don't you panic. You get doubled up, don't panic. All right, let someone else call timeout. All right, take the layup if you have it. You guys got to watch those bounce passes. I mean, we need bounce passes. They're jumping like crazy. Ball fake, bounce pass. Okay, now listen. Then let's get the inbound here. Let's go. They're pretty much in the 2-3 the whole time out of bounds. So let's go. Let's just get it in. Okay, get the ball in. So start with the box 1, get it in. Okay, and then bring it out. Okay, but you got to attack the basket and it's delayed. Let's come in. 1, 2, 3.
Well, Coach Lily Cicerone will tell you she has loved coaching Nicole Angenou, but she said she may be the most frustrating player I've ever coached because she has untapped potential. If she would just learn to have that scorer's mentality, which she'll probably develop at Penn State, she could be all world. And sometimes she says I've had to kick her in the shorts a little bit to get her to be more of a scorer, not to be so unselfish. Fires in the drive, draws the whistle.
Yeah, Angenou has had an all-world half, that's for sure. And, you know, what a time to come up with maybe your best game of the season in the championship game.
So Byers at the line for a couple of freebies. Well, he came in with a 14-point per game average. Knocks down the first. She's hoping to play college ball at Bethune-Cookman, perhaps. She has a college visit coming.
Well, she's a solid player, as we said. Wonderful, wonderful shooting touch and technique.
Actually has the best technique I've seen of all the teams that we've watched here at CMU, don't you think?
Easily the best.
54-45, a 9-point game. Nakia Woods isn't bad either, stroking the ball, but she finally misfires from out there. Rebound to Marian. And no other recourse for the Lumberjacks but the foul here with 1:45 left. And looking at a 9-point hole.
You know, you have to give a lot of credit to everybody on the floor for Marian as they came out and executed a beautiful second-half plan of getting the ball inside to Angenou, but also, you know, everybody contributed on the defensive end. They've made it very, very tough for Saginaw Arthur Hill in this game.
To the hole, Sheldon, and she was fouled. Angie Sheldon's one of those players, you look at the score sheet and say, how did she score that many points? But she's always in the right position. And, of course, benefits by playing alongside of Angenou.
Yeah, she plays that, you know, when you've got an attention getter like Angenou, a player like Angie Sheldon can be, you know, very quietly efficient, and that has certainly been the case. Remember, she had 6 points in the first half, but, you know, very quietly getting the job done in support of Angelo.
Sheldon has 11 points, a near double-double for her. 11 points is the lead for Marian. Minute and a half to play. Arthur Hill may have to start thinking about three-pointers. Still their ball. But that's a tough way to come back.
Yeah, yeah.
Skip pass. Lutzen gave it up, gets it back. Tries a three. Hand in her face. It was bothered. Rebound to the Mustangs. Now to Angelo. She'll just hold it up. And Byers is fouled. Still one more foul. Or does that put them in the bonus? I guess that puts them in the bonus. So it'll be a one-on-one for Kelly Byers. So she goes back to the line where she has been perfect today. 6 for 6. You know, I asked Kelly, what about the WNBA? Is that a fair dream? Even to at least let yourself think about it. She says, oh, yeah. Where Nicole, I asked her, she says, well, maybe.
Well, you know what? If a 10-year-old boy can dream about someday playing in the NBA, why can't a 16, 17-year-old young lady dream about playing in the WNBA?
You never know what happens in a college career. Nickelberry, a little bit too firm, and the Mustangs in firm control of things here. Less than a minute away from another championship.
By the way, I was that 10-year-old boy.
No kidding.
Absolutely.
Well, dreams are big enough for more than one player. They certainly have, and you're starting to see the pain of perhaps defeat etched on the faces of the Lumberjacks. They expected a lot more out of themselves than they have shown here, particularly in the second half.
Oh, but if you look at where this program has come from over the last 6 years, today is a victorious day, no matter the outcome.
Tears of joy from Jasmine McAlpine, and left with your picture there. She's the one that was hurt with the knee injury. As many of the starters coming out of the ball game now. There's Jasmine. Couldn't be there on the floor, but certainly in person and in spirit. She's their big cheerleader over there.
I mean, for those tuning in late, how many wins in Bonnie Kilmer's first year?
How about 0? And then 1 in year 2. The Mustangs scrambling for the ball. And a travel violation. Getting up a little slowly, though, Renee Demers. Checks the elbow. But it's a badge of courage she'll take home from the state championship game. See, I played.
There you go.
And Crystal Andrews, the final starter to come off. What a job she did as the fill-in point guard down the stretch of the season. Woods, shy of 3 points. And a reach-in foul. Marian to inbound with 25 seconds to go. This one surprised me, Greg. I thought this would be a lot closer. In fact, frankly, I thought Arthur Hill would win this game, but the big star in the middle was the difference.
Let me tell you something. It would have been a close game had Marian came out with the same game plan in the second half as they had in the first half. But the decision to get this young lady involved and keep her involved put the distance between the two teams.
Now you see that brilliant smile of hers. Second time she's had that victory hug at Marian. Tell you what, I think there could be some TV commercial work in her future.
I'd hire her if I, you know, had a company and wanted to put a smiling, glowing face on it. She answered your questions yesterday very well, and she was, you know, just very pleasing to spend some time with.
So poised. Lutzen fires, and the final seconds at Rose Arena about to elapse. Marian was disappointed a year ago losing in the finals, but redemption for the Mustangs. They win another Class A championship. For the third time in the 90s and the fourth time overall, the Marian Mustangs are the class of Class A. And no doubt about this performance, they earned it in a 59-45 conquest of the Lumberjacks of Saginaw Arthur Hill. We'll be back to wrap it up in Mount Pleasant after this time. Fox Sports Detroit's coverage of the MHSAA Championships is brought to you by the United Dairy Industry of Michigan, proud sponsor of the MHSAA Sports Nutrition Award, and by MC Sporting Goods. Gear up for the holidays. It's your store of dreams. Well, they're not dreaming of a white Christmas in Birmingham. They're dreaming of yet another title that has been fulfilled here. The fourth time the Mustangs have carted that piece of hardware back to Birmingham. What a job they did without their star point guard. Nicole Angelo in the middle. We wish her well at Penn State. Hope she takes it easy on the Wolverines and Spartans when she comes back, Greg.
Please, please. Got to really be happy for her. Redemption after the disappointing championship game last year.
Even the coach can shed a tear. Our next game comes up at 5 o'clock in Class C as Freeland battles Kalamazoo Christian with Tracy Warren and Tim McCormick on the call. Now for everybody on our Fox Sports Detroit crew, I'm Fred McLeod, along with Greg Kelser, saying so long from the Rose Arena in Mount Pleasant. Once again, our final score. In Class A, Marian prevails over Saginaw Arthur Hill 59-45. You've been watching high school basketball on Fox Sports Detroit, your home of Fox Sports Net. We'll see you back here in a little while for Class C action, and of course, it'll be Class B at 8 o'clock. Let's stay tuned now for Pac-10 men's basketball. UNLV against the Sun Devils of Arizona State. But hail to the Mustangs right now, the kings of Class A. And Nicole Angelo, the star of this one, a brilliant performer, 22 points and 8 rebounds, the best of this day. So long, everybody.